Lefty environmentalist parents are doing the completely unoriginal thing of allowing their kids to further their own environmentalist agendas. And a Montana judge has ruled in their favor. I'll show you what this is all about, and I will reaffirm to you what the Bible told us, that there is absolutely nothing new under the sun. The climate cult needs some new child spokesmodels, since the last one, scoldy Swedish climate truant Greta Thunberg, has aged out of the gig.
How dare you!
Thunberg, for those of you who don't know, and I don't know how you couldn't, made a bit of a career scolding adults and skipping school, and the United Nations and the World Economic Forum couldn't wait to stick a microphone in her scrunched up, angry little face every time she scowled and lectured grown-ups about complex science and climate issues she didn't quite understand. Well, how could she? She literally dropped out of school to do this. And Thunberg pushed bad ideas that she didn't have to pay for. But then Thunberg grew up, and even getting arrested couldn't get people to care about what she was yelling at us for anymore. So they needed the new next generation of child crisis actors, preferably those with rich, well-connected liberal parents with enough wealth to withstand the expensive green energy push their kids are now the cherubic faces of. So, get out Greta, here come the climate kids. And those climate kids are already making headway. Look at this from the Hill. A court in Montana on Monday recognized young people's rights to protection from climate change, siding with a group of young people who allege that state policy violates their rights to such protection. A group of 16 young plaintiffs who were between the ages of 2, and 18 when the case began, sued the state of Montana, saying that its energy policy violated their rights to a clean and healthy environment. Has anybody been to Montana lately? Have you? It's pretty clean. It's pretty healthy there. In a new ruling Monday, District Judge Kathy Seeley ruled in their favor and against a Montana state law that prohibited the consideration of climate impacts in the process for approving energy projects. The ruling also said the state's greenhouse gas emissions and climate change have proven to be a substantial factor in bringing harm and injury to the plaintiffs, except there is no harm and injury to the plaintiffs. In fact, one of them went fishing for several days in the allegedly harmed environment after he won his court case. And let's be clear, these aren't a bunch of naive kids doing this because they are true believers in the cult of climate change. They aren't brave kids either doing this of their own volition to make change. These are child actors. And this is a front group called Our Children's Trust, trying to bring forward similar cases in at least 4 other states. Now, when you look at who's behind this lawfare organization, we see a familiar face. The good old Rockefeller Foundation, the same one behind the tar sands campaign to landlock and end Alberta's oil and gas industry. But this idea of parents using their kids as cannon fodder in green lawfare, well, it isn't new. It's already been tried in Canada at least twice that I know of. Just a few months ago, a judge dismissed an eco-justice-backed lawsuit brought by 7 kids in Ontario against Premier Doug Ford for ending cap-and-trade policies, something he campaigned on. It's odd. Doug Ford kept a campaign promise, and he ended up in court for it. And in 2020, a similar case was dismissed by a group of young people who claimed Trudeau's climate policies don't go far enough. As I said, nothing new under the sun, except this time the kids won. Sorry, I should correct myself. The grown-ups using the kids as emotional and political pawns won in an energy-rich state. And this will mean more lawsuits in more places from more child crisis actors. So buckle up, folks. The activist courts are going to be making the energy policies now. So hold on to your wallets. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn-Reid. Now the Green Left is using kids as political fodder in their campaign for a new green reset of our lives and of our national economies. To sign the petition against the Green Reset, please go to nogreenreset.com.